Freight nights have a loneliness that eats sound. I was rolling east, with 100 cars of grain and steel behind me. The cab lit up this surgical green. Anxiety rides me on nights like this. My heartbeat is just too loud, palms slick on the throttle. I tell myself it's the job. I tell myself the mile markers are prayers. At milepost 213, the cab turned cold. The windshield fogged at the edges. The radio just hissed without a signal. Hair ticked up along my arms like tiny compasses. I thumbed the heater, nothing. I checked the panel. Everything was good. Not now, I told nobody. And the train just hummed, indifferent. The mirror over my shoulder showed a second seat occupant. I didn't have a second. The figure wore a high-vis vest that seemed to absorb light instead of reflecting it. It sat way too straight, head tilted too far, face arranged like someone had learned faces from a manual, eyes just slightly off level, cheekbones a little too sharp, a mouth too calm. "Stop," it said, and the word came from the rails, the ties, the steel spine of the world. "Track's clear," I said, "because control is a script you cling to." Then in my head I heard it again. "Stop." It repeated, then added, "Confess." Old fear returned like a smell. The night 2 years ago when I ignored a sensor alarm because I was an hour from home and the anxiety had me humming like an engine. I logged it in later as transient. It wasn't. It was a wheel bearing that went bad a week after, 2 divisions away. No one died. A siding burned. I told myself correlation isn't causation. My chest knew better. My heart hammered out of pace with the wheels. Sweat broke and froze. I eased the throttle, feathered the brake. The train's long body uncoiled into slower. At milepost 212, a deer stood on the rails. It looked at me just long enough for terror to make a poor plan. I stopped before we met. The deer loped off into the brush, casual as a local. The cab warmed a fraction. "I falsified a log," I said, lightheaded with shame and, oxygen. "I pretended an alarm was nothing because I wanted to be done. I'm sorry." The rails hummed approval or physics, I couldn't tell. "So, here's my report." "I will." I meant the paper, the call to the supervisor, the note on my own record that will bruise my next schedule. My anxiety flared, the old cold pulse in my throat, then eased, as if the body can tell the truth, even when the mouth doesn't want to. By milepost 210, the mirror showed only me again. The radio picked up a far dispatcher. The heater gave a grudging breath of warm air. I rolled on, slower, listening for alarms like they were hymns. If you've been visited on the rails, if the cold came up from the tracks and asked you to stop, tell me in the comments so we can band together and find refuge. And, beware. Don't ignore them. Trains forgive nothing. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and follow us for more bone-chilling chronicles. Join us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky for more If You Dare.